The book Small Giants challenges the idea that successful businesses have to get as big as possible, as fast as possible. Author Bo Burlingham is here to show us how some entrepreneurs are making their companies great by keeping them small.
Most well-run companies find themselves under constant pressure to grow. Customers, suppliers, investors, and employees all seem to have an interest in seeing the business get bigger. But is bigger really better? Company owners need to ask themselves a basic question. What is it that you really want out of your business? What do you value most? Is it the quality of your product or your service? Is it the relationships that you have with your customers and your suppliers? Is it working in an environment where employees feel valued and share a common vision of the company? If so, then staying small may be the key to your success. A great example of a small giant is Anchor Brewing here in San Francisco. This small brewery turns out some of the world's premier microbrews. In fact, they pretty much invented microbrewing back in the 1970s. Their brews were so popular, they couldn't keep up with the demand. There was nothing stopping them from growing the business to 10, 20, 50 times its present size. So why didn't they grow it? Because Anchor's owner made a conscious decision to keep the company small. Fritz Maytag has owned Anchor Brewing for more than 40 years. So Fritz, why did you decide to keep the company small?
People come and say, you make all the beer here? We say yes, the whole company is right here in this building. We're flexible. I know all the people. They all know each other. I just am in love with little organizations. I'd rather have 10 little ones than one big one, if you follow me.
Anchor produces just enough beer to keep this brewery operating close to capacity. If the company had taken the usual path and tried to become as big as possible, as fast as possible, Fritz would have lost the intimacy and the control he so enjoys. As companies expand, they often have to raise the capital they need to grow by taking on outside investors, and that capital can come at a very high price. You could wind up with a business driven not by your own aspirations, but by the need to meet the growth targets set by outsiders. Now, one big advantage of staying small is that you're able to maintain close relationships with the employees.
We have 50 people here. Everyone knows that the product is in their hands at one time or another. There's a feeling of responsibility that has a wonderful benefit in terms of the atmosphere in the company.
If Anchor were to become a big-time brewer, that staff of 50 could grow to hundreds, if not thousands. Fritz could forget about any personal connection with the people who work for him, and Anchor's employees might lose that sense of ownership and pride in the work they do. In fact, a high-quality relationship between a company and its employees is a key ingredient of every small giant. That's because everything that makes a company great, the brand, the product or the service, the relationship with customers, depends on the people who work there. So Fritz, how does your smaller scale affect your ability to serve customers?
They know who we are. We have an identity, and they can have confidence in us. I think the customer benefits because the employees have a quality mindset.
Staying small allows Anchor to have fewer distributors and to develop a personal, one-on-one relationship with each of them. A bigger brewer might have several hundred distributors. At that point, it becomes more about moving product than about building relationships. In dealing with both customers and suppliers, the small giants adhere to three basic principles. The first is integrity. The company does not project a false image. It is what it claims to be. The second, professionalism, means that the company does what it says it's going to do. And last but not least, The company does business through direct human connection, building an emotional bond based on mutual caring. Now that's what I call a great beer.
It's the quality that comes from a small brewery where we make it all by hand.
So thank you very much for joining me today at Anchor Brewing. It's one of 14 companies that I write about in my book. I hope you'll enjoy reading about them.